Hey everyone, welcome. We're gonna give it a minute or so, let everyone get situated. First Biz Dev webinar of 2024. Glad y'all are joining us. We'll get it started shortly.
I'm a little upset we can't play our music anymore.
I
These
know.
dang copyright laws.
Maybe we should just learn how to play some instrument. I should, get some piano tunes.
Yeah, I could probably see if I can chalk my way through like a ukulele. See if I can start training myself on it.
How about a harmonica?
Ooh, that'd be kind of fun. I could probably do something. I'll see maybe I'll get like an old saxophone somewhere down here in New Orleans. Or maybe I'll just take a webinar from like a live music venue down here in New Orleans. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. Or maybe we just ask some of our partners, hey, you guys are doing cool stuff all the time in terms of music.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's funny. We're excited to get started. I can't believe this is the first one of the year. Can you believe it's 2024?
Yes and no. Like my husband and I were talking about it the other day. It's everything's in the moment, everything seems to go slow, like this is the longest week of my life. And oh my gosh, but in retrospect, you're like, I feel like 2012 was yesterday.
Yeah, big time. Big time. 2012. I was like a junior in college, maybe.
I was pregnant with my little boy, my second.
Oh, man. Love that kid. All right. I'm excited. Smarter, not harder, righty?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys. First one of the year, working smarter, not harder. Efficiency. This is the year of efficiency, right? I think it all kind of came about. There's been such a buzz of even AI and leveraging amazing new tech tools, and how can we work again smarter, not harder? How do we find minutes in the day that we can take back to create a little bit more efficiencies, whether it's in processes, whether it's on the sales side or admin side. We're going to get into some stuff today. So hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Elizabeth Bernberg, Senior Director of Business Development here at AdCellerant. And I am joined by the one and the only Mr. Benjamin Bauslog, our Vice President of Business Development. Many partners we see on this call. We love you. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. We see a few newbies on the call, people who may not know about AdCellerant. Thank you so much for joining us. What was that? But today we're going to be talking about a few key elements here. We're going to keep it sharp, smooth, informative, some good stuff here. So roadmap to success, productivity and focus, leveraging and leaning into support. I know we beat that drum ad nauseum, but it's so incredibly important when you think about tapping into those resources to create more bandwidth on your side. And last bullet point, open up your bandwidth, right? So we're going to be touching on these things. Absolutely, we want to make sure this is as conversational as it can be for a webinar. Please feel free to use that chat feature or Q&A feature. When Ben's talking on some stuff, I'll be checking those out and responding, vice versa. We are recording this. Everyone will be receiving a copy of our deck and the recording. And as I like to say, Ben, let's plow.
Let's plow. Quick reminder too, if you guys want to make sure that you are joining all of the webinars for this year, go and follow AdCellerant on LinkedIn or social media. We like to have some fun with those things. You can also follow me and Elizabeth. We'd love to make sure that we're being industry thought leaders for you, sharing the right things on how to work smarter and not harder throughout the entire year. But as a quick reminder, AdCellerant is a technology and digital advertising services company. Our goal is to take the complexity of digital, and gosh dang it, is it complex. We want to make it as simple as possible. We do this through several different ways, but primarily through the best-in-class proprietary technologies that we have, the amazing team that we have, all US-based people, as well as through our partner network. We're always taking the feedback from our partners, you guys and feeding it back into our company, because our success does not come without your success. We want to make sure that we're building the tech the right way. We want to make sure that we're supporting you the right way. And, as much as we do, I think we do an incredible job of it. Our awards, our accreditations definitely show for it. But we're really excited about that because this is all about you guys. This is how we can make sure you can be as successful as possible throughout this next year. I'm really excited to see some of the slides that Elizabeth's going to be showing here in just a few slides. But, to round out what Accelerant does in a nutshell, this slide is perfect. We are a full stack digital agency solution within a single point of contact, within a single user interface. We have some of the creepiest technologies. We have some of the coolest products and capabilities, and you guys can access each and every single one of these things at your fingertips. So whether you want to go out and slang some SEO, a little bit of programmatic, some creepy device ID targeting, you need to make sure it's executed by the best team of people who are, incentivized to run better performing campaigns for you. And you want to make sure that you tell the right story of success. You can come to Accelerant and get all of that within one spot.
Love it. Ben, I love that you mentioned earlier too, just, the fact that we absolutely lean into our partners to help guide our roadmaps for our tech, for our company. What do they need to help make their lives easier and more efficient? We are trying to work smarter, not harder as well. You are our resources, right? So we definitely appreciate any and all of that feedback that you do share with us.
Absolutely. And we send out those emails to you guys. If you ever get an email that says, hey, please fill out a survey, or hey, please, make sure you're submitting a feature request on the software, or you have some recommendations, or you want to drop a note in the anonymous note box, please share those things, because I tell you what, our product team, our support team, our leadership team, they read each and every single one of those things. And it carries so much weight when you submit that directly to them. So make sure you're sharing that feedback with us, because we don't want to build this the way that we want to build it. We want to build it the way that you want it built. And I think that really leads to that much more success for y'all.
Love it. All right, roadmap to success. Who's done budgeting? Hopefully we all are, right? Yeah, right. Oh God, phew, that's done and done. 2024, we are here. We are already well into it. We got to make sure we have the plan in place. The roadmap starts with the map. Exactly that. You've got to have where you're starting and what kind of destination you're working towards. So here are just some bullet points, that I think about, that Ben and I think about and even talk about when we're connecting with partners and prospective partners. Think about your top priorities, right? First and foremost, what is this year about? Is it about revenue growth? It should always be about revenue growth, but is it possibly about portfolio growth? Is your company maybe expanding into new markets, acquiring new divisions? Are you restructuring things internally? Is there a reorg happening? Assess your current landscape. So really, what does the internal kind of landscape of the team look like right now? You should be kind of taking that inventory, right? Of, hey, do we have the tools, the software, the team, the resources, all of that at our fingertips. And this is not just across sales, right? You're probably doing this checks and balances in your, business department, the finance department, your operations department. Absolutely. Of course, this applies to the sales side as well. And you've got to take that deep dive. What's working well? What maybe needs to be scrapped, right? Where do we need to maybe level up some of these capabilities, some of these partnerships, some of this tech? Where are you looking to make those efficiencies? All right, working smarter, not harder. That whole entire saying encompasses really efficiencies at the end of the day, right? We've only got a few hours to just rock it. So we've got to make every minute of every hour count and be efficient. So how are you really approaching those efficiencies? Is it about processes? Hey, we need to make sure that we are moving quickly and purposefully with our processes internally. So guess what? Our clients have what they need when they need. Are you creating excitement? I mean, I hope y'all can feel my excitement. I love this stuff. Ben and I absolutely love what we do, but this has got to be internal as well. Especially when you start a new year, this is the new time to put everything, the past aside Start anew, start fresh, and have that excitement, that energy, that passion. Create that sizzle so it can carry you through the entire year. Make sure from a sales standpoint, but shoot, probably from any department, you're finding your champions, the people that are really taking charge, that are proactive, that are really looking at things just as analytically as you are, maybe from the management side. You want to take them under your wing and have them be your champions to really provide additional insights and feedback. Hey, this would make my life easier if I had this from a pre-sale standpoint, or I really want to make sure that our team has, better transparent reporting. That's a champion. Continue to develop your champions this year. And of course, track everything. Hopefully y'all are working with some kind of CRM. If not a spreadsheet, I know sometimes we want to pull our hair outs with spreadsheets, but we've got to be tracking, right? We've got to be tracking productivity. We've got to be tracking it internally, of course, as well as what's happening outside with our advertisers, from phone calls, proposals, dollars that are pitched. Track everything. That intelligence is super helpful on how you optimize your business this year. And remember, inspiration is contagious. So, keep the good flow, the good vibe going. Be inspirational for your team. They look to you. They look to each other to provide that, because, it can be kind of dog eat dog sometimes out there in the marketplace. Competition's high.
Elizabeth, I love all this stuff. Go back real quick. I want to
Yeah.
really drive home just a couple of things. The last, the second or the third to last and second to last bullet points you see here. Find your champions. Assign someone who's going to own these changes. If once you prioritize, and once you assess, once you prioritize, once you realize where you're at and where you want to be, find the champion who's going to own that. And I cannot stress this enough. You need to track everything and make sure that's measurable, right? So who owns it? What needs to be completed by this date, and then this date, and then this date? And when it's finished, what should we expect out of that? And how does it lead to driving more of those efficiencies? This is how we need to make sure we're doing those things. And what's beautiful about this is, this is exactly what you guys can expect out of your Adcelerant account management team. If you're looking for a revenue growth plan, if you're looking for a specific way to achieve that crazy goal that you guys put out there for yourselves, make sure you lean into us. We know exactly how to do these things, and we're rinsing and repeating the successes that we've seen in other areas to make sure that we can feed it into you as well. So don't just, consider us a vendor and someone who's going to take your orders. Ask us to help build your success plan into this year as well.
Love it. All right. So data, metrics, numbers, analytics, we've got to be understanding, the landscape out there, especially with digital. I got comfortable. Did you see me kind of sway back and forth? I'm grounding my feet here to really dive into this. This is killer data from eMarketer here, and we leverage eMarketer all the time when we're talking with prospective partners, current partners. So we're all on the same page with what we're actively working towards in terms of growing our revenue. You guys, this is not just about working smarter, not harder in 2024. This is about setting a new precedence and almost a new culture, maybe culture internally, with how we're going to work moving forward. Because especially as it relates to digital, that's not changing. That is continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow. Look at that through 2027, y'all, you should see that bolded number, that percentage, and hopefully that bit you. It totally caught your attention, because I practically, my eyes popped out when I saw it. By 2027, digital ad spend will account for 87% share of all media. That is 87 cents on every $1 of media spent in the marketplace, period, is digital. So how is your team proactively going towards that budget? We're going to just let it pause for a minute, right?
That is insane, isn't it? I remember we've been giving these webinars, for 3, 4, 5 years now, Elizabeth. And I remember saying, oh, it's 50%. Oh, it's 60%. And it's like 70% right now, right? 87, almost 90% of ad spend is going towards digital in the next 3 years. Are you in a position, are you prioritizing your business and the way that you're going to market with your teams to make sure you can take full advantage of that? I think that's a huge thing we all need to be thinking about.
Absolutely. And here, I mean, this is from 2023, but it kind of shows current metrics, right? Like where's that spend right now, essentially? Right now, digital's about 75 cents of every dollar. TV is coming in second at 17 cents. Look at that gap though, right? And TV, and I'm a former broadcast gal, radio and television. So I much love to our TV partners, but y'all, this doesn't have the growth opportunity, right? Look at the gap in between those two numbers. And we see it and we know this. This should hopefully not be new information, but it's important to maybe share this with your team. Like, we've got to make sure we're working smarter in a way to go after the dollars that are out there in the market and where our clients need us most. They need us most in these digital platforms. So speaking of clients, lovely, wonderful, awesome advertisers, it's the reason why we do what we do. What do they want right now? When you think about your client needs analysis, your team's going out there having these conversations, these next two slides are kind of interesting because they go hand in hand. Your clients are wanting, with everything that they do with their business, not just from a marketing standpoint, this is across everything, quality. Everything has to have quality. Their name is behind it, right? Their position in the community is behind it. Their reputation is behind it. They also want access. They don't want to have to jump through a hoop here, hop over a fence there, and do a dance at the end. They need access to people, to resources, to things that are going to be meaningful in terms of their business. And they need it to be transparent. This cannot be, here's a treasure hunt, and we wish you well, and a lot of smoke and mirrors, and they're going to be booby traps. They need transparency and what's going to work. And if something's not working, how are we going to adjust? What is happening, right? They need to understand that they can build that trust in you when it comes to these digital products and capabilities and across every single one of your assets that you're selling. It's got to be cost effective. It's got to make sense for their business model, right? At the end of the day, this is capitalism, right? We're all here to be making some dollars, making some money, improving the lives of our families and everybody. So we've got to make sure it's cost effective and we're able to stretch those dollars as much as possible. You got to have results. It's got to be working and it's got to be efficient. That's like the key word today, right? Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. But look at this. When you look at all those bullet points, this right here just astonished me. Burrell had a webinar, love their webinars. This was, I think, their predictions for 2024 and a review from surveys that they had just, from their data collect and all their media intel that they put together in a survey. More local advertisers are working with only one local media provider. That was the mode. There's a mathematical word for y'all. Remember mean, median, and mode? Mode is the most frequently occurring number. More and more of our local advertisers are just working with one local media provider. Are you the one? How are you going to be the one? It is providing the same, here those same words again. It is being able to provide your team the same things that your clients need, right? So you can position yourself as the one go-to marketing consultant for your advertisers. Quality, access, transparency, cost-effective, results, efficiency. You guys see the information here. This is now what your team needs, so you can then deliver the same for your advertisers. Ben, any other comments to add here?
I think that this is amazing. What your clients want is what your team wants. And guess what? It's what we want too. And it's what we're always striving for. We're all on the same team here, you guys. I think this is something that we need to take very seriously and understand, because we don't need to be piecemealing different things together. We don't need to be, just tying all these pieces together with all these different platforms, with all these different measurement tactics, with telling different stories, with different types of things. Try to consolidate. Create that efficiency for people. If you can do something with one or two platforms or technologies rather than 3 or 4, you should look to do those types of things, right? So it's really important to think about how you can just build efficiencies around all of this so that you can lead to access, you can lead to transparency, you can create cost effectiveness, you can provide your customers with better customer service because of it. And that's what they really want as well. I think this is a good time for us to lead into productivity and focus. How do we make sure we're able to get what we need to get done, right? And not necessarily have all these superfluous things, hitting us from all these different angles. And I gotta, like I said, go to here to build my proposal, going to here to get my tools, going to here to find that, go to there to provide that. Take a look at UI.marketing. AdSellerant's proprietary technology, what we've built here for you guys, is a tool that literally simplifies and it creates a continuity across the entire digital sales lifecycle. Everything from pre-sale tools, find data to present to your customer, to get in front of them to say, hey, this is where we're missing the mark, to provide them with audits on what they're doing today, to put a proposal in front of them, to manage your campaigns and to tie together your reports. And it's all within a single technology. And guess what? When you lean into these tools and these resources, you can do so much more with less. And I think another way to say that, Elizabeth, is what? Working smarter, not harder.
And this helps you. What's our wonderful word we use? Starts with an S, ends with an ale. Scale.
Oh my gosh. Talk about a nice sale there. Oh my gosh. So when you're leaning into these tools, you guys, we have several different ways that you can take advantage of that with AdSellerant today. And I'm glad, a lot of our partners like to join these calls. I don't know if it's just because me and Elizabeth have too much fun together, but you learn a lot. But guess what? If you have not been in the AdSellerant Academy today, you need to be there. I know we just launched, especially for a lot of these organizations, if you guys just hired a handful of new reps, we just launched a brand new beginners training guide for new sales reps getting into digital. Even if they've already been experienced with digital, throw them back in there. It's good to get our feet wet again. We need to continue to train and train and train again because things change regularly. There's updates to these platforms. Radio is delivered the same way radio has always been delivered. TV's delivered the same way TV's always been delivered. Same thing with print, same thing with out of home. Maybe in a couple of different ways, but generally they're all the same, right? Digital is a thing that has constantly evolved over and over and over and over again. Dive into the AdSellerant Academy. Tell your team to get in there. There's case studies. There's industry-specific guides that you can lean into that shows you how to talk, how to walk the walk, and make yourself look like a subject matter expert. So when you're trying to talk about productivity and focus, quit trying to Google this and find all these different resources in all these different areas. Go to this provider for training on that platform. Go to this provider for that. Go to this provider for that. You need to make sure that you have it all in one spot. We had a let's see here. In order to access all these things, you do have to be a direct customer of AdSellerant. We do have some things available through some of our more strategic partnerships, but in order to get direct access to the Academy, you got to get a direct partnership with AdSellerant started up. So that's a good question that Dan asked there. Other things that will help us lead into productivity and focus, leaning into these other tools and resources. My favorite, they're not tools, they're very cool people. Definitely resources, I lean into them a lot, are AdSellerant team members. These people are absolute juggernauts at what they do. And guess what? They're all incentivized to grow your success, to make sure you are more successful. Have an AdSellerant person join your sales call. Let them show you how to talk the talk, walk the walk with one of your clients. Have them put together a proposal for you. You don't have time for that proposal, we'll do it for you. Also, reporting calls. How do we make sure that we're retaining this business and we're going for the upsell? Lean into your AdSellerant team. Respectfully, I have heard this from our partners today. The ones who use our team the most, they're like, we absolutely love leaning into AdSellerant. It's because they're the true experts. They're the ones closest to these platforms, and we can let our reps own that relationship, make sure that they, set the right expectations with their customers, but they let the AdSellerant team come in and let us do the heavy lifting on the conversations. Let us talk about the details, right? The devil's in the details. And that's how you're able to retain business. That's how you're able to upsell business, because competition is rife everywhere. So make sure you are leaning into these people. I always tell people this is sometimes something that doesn't really show up on the scoreboard, but things that we do that go above and beyond. I know Caroline has interviewed people on behalf of our partners before. I know we've put together product mixes for our partners, make sure they're selling healthier and not necessarily just selling things that are, lower margin products. We're putting together full packages for you, right? Creating webinars and seminars and things like that, but also sales plans. And if we look at this next slide, I love this sales plan because a lot of people who are newer into digital, they're just getting their feet wet. They're getting people started in it. What's the easiest way to get started? And Elizabeth and I have literally been preaching this for 5, 6, 7, 800 years now, however old we are.
I
If
dye my hair. You can't see my gray hair.
I haven't started graying yet. I'm working on it. I'll probably start coming out my beard soon. But if we start with a simple way that's slightly challenging yet 100% attainable, this is what we recommend. And this is for one rep. Have your one rep build 2 digital proposals and do 2 pitches per week. On average, we see that the average deal size across the country, there's different for different markets and types of industries. We understand that. Average deal size, $1,500 a month, right? There's a couple of digital products that are going to be included there. But across every single one of our partners, we see on average a 25% closing rate. That means they're closing 2 out of every 8 proposals that they build every single month. That's $3,000 per month that they're generating in new revenue. But don't forget, they're retaining that for the second month with an 80% retention rate. And if we continue with this and we do a little bit of back of the napkin math, guess what that rep just put together? $125,000 in net new revenue. And you can actually, and that's for one rep. And this annual gross profit number is actually a little bit low. This is us adding in some paid search and lower margin products as well that help boost retention. But guess what? You add some of those things in, they're like, Trojan horses of products. It helps you lock in your customer and add in additional products where you can start driving up your profitability as well. So think about that, $125,000 in net new revenue that one rep can generate just by doing 2 pitches per week.
What do we say? The pipeline is the life.
Lifeline.
It is the lifeline, y'all. Excuse me. I'm going to take on support because,
I need your support here.
I might need support here. I got like a frog in here. I'm a former Adcelerant partner. I literally have worked with Ben, worked with the onboarding team, worked with an account management team, was, leaning into the team to win deals, to train my team. The support was such a differentiator. It also helped set my team at ease when I was going to put some changes in front of them, right? People get so nervous when we start thinking about new things and changes and, we're going to adjust this process. We're going to do something new. So the type of support, right? And this is people support as well as the tech support, right? Support matters. And this is where I want to, I love some of these images here, super fun, but I think this is a huge differentiator for Adcelerant. So many tech companies out there, they've got the bad rap, and rightfully so. They built this slick, amazing, like Ferrari and all the bells and whistles and, laser lights and smoke. And they give it to their client, their customer. Here are the keys. Good luck, wish you well, see you later, right? And here's a manual that's 10,000 pages long. That's not helping anyone, right? Be set up for success. You've got to go through bots and online support from, someone at a totally different time zone connecting with you, and you're trying to ask questions. You're not getting the right insights. This is causing, angst, right? So technology is useless if you don't know how to use it. So you've got to lean into people, and that's what Adcelerant has. We've been really beating that drum a lot always because our people truly do differentiate us. Our tech is sweet, does it all, and then some. It is amazing. But the flame that keeps everything ablaze and moving forward, it is the team. It is our team working with you, team, and giving you bandwidth back, giving you time back into your day. So we don't throw the book at you and say, hey, good luck, we'll see you later. Immediately, you are assigned dedicated onboarding specialist. You have access to experts. You're going to be able to have a bench, right, of people. And you're also going to be able to tap into business intelligence that we've garnered from the 10 years that we've been in business and the millions of campaigns that we've run and executed on behalf of our partners. Hey, what's working well in terms of automotive or HVAC or retail? And how can we maybe use that to create a great recommendation in our proposal tool? Huh? Lean into tech as a teammate. So these are things that we're really serious about when it comes to, support that matters. It's technology, but with the power of people. So our onboarding team is absolutely available. We schedule biweekly calls. We want to connect with your team, help you with that pipeline management. We teach you how to drive, right? It's a very sophisticated process. For those of you who've heard this many times, you're going to hear it again because it's so great. It's incredibly sophisticated. It's called handholding, and we love it. And that's how we get the most really great partnerships as well when we do this together. So you're going to oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, this one's funny. This comes from directly from one of our biz dev managers. Some of you might know him, Ken Campbell. He was a print seller for so long, and he's recommending to people, ditch the digibabble. Quit talking about CPMs, OTT. You got FTE. You got CPC, PPC, whatever it is. You got OPP. Yeah, whatever all that stuff is. You don't need all of that. Everything in our training videos to our selling approach, it makes this digital stuff conversational. We got to use analogies. We got to use things that help break this down and reduce the complexity to create the simplicity. So little things like that go a really far away. And Elizabeth, keep talking about these resources, little selling tools like this.
Exactly. So above and beyond the team, the people, the academy, the training, again, conversational, this is a killer pre-sales tool that does allow you to create that conversational moment with an advertiser to even get a meeting, right? This is a great hook. This is a great way to open up a conversation, have a valid business reason to share with your prospective client some fantastic data and insights about their core audience. So what you're looking at here, we're putting our money where our mouth is here. This is an audience insight report, a fantastic pre-sales tool that's tied to our historical geofencing solution, Device ID. There are lots of, different names out there. We call ours Device ID. But this is just a fantastic way to set the tone with an advertiser, get a meeting, but also come with data, not just come ready for a fire sale initiative or, hey, I'm going to be, giving you a proposal immediately out of the gates. I have no idea what your goals and objectives are, but shoot, here's a proposal. Hey, how about here's some fantastic data that I took on to learn about your competitors. This is what your audience looks like from a demographic standpoint, household income, presence of children. And we're going to send you this information. I want to have a conversation about how we can support your marketing efforts and grow your presence in the marketplace. Simple pre-sales tools are going to be able to help, again, you work smarter, not harder, and open up these new business opportunities and new revenue opportunities with your clients. And again, Mr. Ken Campbell, I love the guy. I love this lizard sashaying across water. Not saying our people walk on water, but and this is going back to the power of people, communication, and us working together, right? Through emails, through Zoom calls, in person, right? Getting in market. We communicate on your terms, right? We want to understand what your business model is like and what's going to be best for your team. That's going to reduce any, stress, anxiety, help build trust. We're all US based. We don't outsource anything that we do. So that's another beauty, right? So if you need to, you're asking questions about SEO or, hey, we need to take a deep dive on SEM, we're able to take on all of that for you. And again, make some of those internal efficiencies, those processes more efficient. So you have time to continue to do what you do best, which is sell, right? Connect with your clients. We have our live chat feature also in UI.marketing. So, making sure that you always have a team member, a live person accessible. Easy form fills. The tool itself is incredibly intuitive. But again, it's all about that human support, really human support here. And that really allows you to look at this segue. It's like we planned this. Open up your bandwidth and find those additional minutes and even hours in the day where you can lean into a resource, lean into a dedicated partner, so you can continue doing what's most important on your side for the business. So Ben, bring us home with, opening up bandwidth. What does this mean? How can we really, working smarter, not harder, bandwidth? There are not enough hours in the day. We always say this as professionals. Give them some insight as to, how we help them do it.
Well, I would say, first off, don't reinvent the wheel, right? We need to make sure that we are doing things, or taking advantage of resources, materials, case studies, pitch decks. We've got them all ready to go. Got them ready to rock for you. Don't feel like you need to go out there and reinvent something just to have something put together, right? We have all these things available inside the academy. I mean, honestly, I'm not even touching the tip of the iceberg with what I'm talking about right here. You guys would be absolutely astounded. Those of you who have access to the academy, dig a little deeper and then dig a little deeper as well. You will get so many resources. And if you are looking for something in particular, you just don't know what it is, what or where it might be, reach out to your support, reach out to that dedicated account manager. I promise you, they're not going to tell you to go submit a support ticket or something like that. They'll be like, let me find that for you. Oh, it's right here. Send you a link. Find out what is available inside of this academy. It is going to take so much off of your plate. If you feel like you need to build decks from scratch, if you feel like you need to put together case studies, if you feel like you need to, put together a selling guide for your team or anything like that, or packages, we've got them ready to rock, ready to go. Take full advantage of them. So the academy is absolutely stellar. Also, pre-sales tools. If you need local SEO scans, if you need full SEO audits, if you want audits on Google PPC campaigns that you're running, or you need audience insight reports based off of location data of competitors, or you need help with a web development pre-sale process, like, all right, let's understand what the client needs, what they want, and we'll put together a recommendation from there. We have all these tools literally in this one area right here. So this is a really, really important part. Finally, you guys, we've got the proposal tools right here. You can literally build a proposal within probably 5 minutes, Elizabeth, maybe 10, if you're putting together something wild. Or if you don't want to do it yourself, ask us to build it for you. We will absolutely do that. So reach out to your team. You have us. We don't charge for those things either. So if you need a proposal, you submit that information to us and we will take care of that for you. This gives you bandwidth back in the day so you can focus on revenue driving activities and we'll take care of the heavy lifting. So these are incredible ways to do it. And I know I'm just going to keep going down the line here. What else we got? What's this next slide talk about? We got proposal building, transparent reporting. Oh my gosh. Talk about not needing to answer any more questions. You don't need to open up a can of worms with your clients, right? You show them exactly what they're getting out of their campaigns, where they're providing lift, where they're reducing costs, how much of an impact they're making, how they're getting in front of that specific audience, where the conversions are coming from. You can share these things easily. You have literally a 24/7 reporting dashboard available at your fingertips. Send them a PDF of it or just give them the live link. They can take a look at it themselves and it's customizable. Super, super important to take advantage of all those things.
Love it. And the reporting too, shareable link, easy access for your clients to mobile friendly. It's amazing. The proof is in the pudding. So that's also going to help set you up for success when it comes to retaining that business, renewing that business. And that's also where our team can help you be prepared for winning that next deal, right? We don't want to just be in the forever circle of new business, new business, new business. Nobody wins with that. So how can we go to the path of least resistance and help you with your renewals and proactively get those deals, resubmitted or provide additional context and support to win that campaign again for the next 3, 6, 12 months and so on.
There was a good question here before I get to this next page. Yeah. Different costs associated with that Cellerant partnership. There's a few fees, but nothing crazy. We're not like Verizon. We're not going to nickel and dime you with all these unexpected costs. Everything's laid out in front of you. Feel free to reach out to us for more information on that, and we'll definitely take care of it. There's a really good question here from Nathaniel. Are there flags to identify which clients we should be targeting for expansion with digital or existing clients versus prospects? Yes, we will tell you exactly where to be prospecting or exactly where you have certain opportunities with particular industries with clients. And if they fit within your current existing clientele, then absolutely go after it. Our team is sharing those things on a regular basis. You get that dedicated account manager and account coordinator we were talking about before. They're connecting with you and each of your teams and markets on a bi-weekly basis to uncover training opportunities, to share with you, hey, these are the people you need to get in front of now because we're 3 months out or 2 months out from spring break. We need to be focusing in on traveling agencies. We need to be focusing in on, destination areas and customers and advertisers in those places with excursions and restaurants, things like that. So yes, the answer is we can absolutely help you guys identify that. And honestly, we're identifying it upfront and proactively so that you can work on it now so that you have business locked in for next month, the following month, and the whole year after that as well. So good question, Nathaniel. If you have other questions about the AdSummit partnership, please reach out to us directly. We'll definitely get you guys exactly what you need there. But oh my gosh, this is actually a really great one, you guys. Again, increase your own bandwidth. Don't feel like you're in this alone. A tried and true strategy to driving revenue for really anything is by educating people, right? Is by telling them what their opportunity is if they're able to take advantage of products, capabilities, and different technologies within your arsenal, within your product suite. AdSummit will do all the heavy lifting for you. Even better, we'll build the presentation. We'll put on the presentation for you as a white labeled resource. We'll make sure we can help you follow up with those prospects that you have with four-legged sales calls or webinars or Zoom calls if we need to do that. And we're able to make sure we grow revenue from it. We actually have a case study. I don't think I have it here in my next slide, but on average, our partners are seeing about 30 new customers or prospects attend these webinars or seminars with an average of $250,000 in revenue growth directly attributed to these calls. I remember I went to In Market and I made a presentation in front of almost 200 advertisers one time. We closed almost $1 million in business and built a pipeline of almost $2 million right after that. That was back in 2019. That was back when digital was 60% of media spend. Think about it now, you guys. What opportunity do you have? And what's the opportunity if you don't take advantage of it? Or what's the miss if you don't take advantage of the opportunity?
What's the cost?
The cost of not taking advantage of it. These are just a couple of examples of how we're creating excitement for those people on those seminars. But we also wanted to give you guys some bonus pointers. These are things that me and Elizabeth have been doing to make sure we're continuing to shave seconds, to shave minutes off of each little, monotonous task that we do on a regular basis, right? One of my favorite things to do, I typically use like the last week of December because it's kind of slow for everybody. How do I turn, internal meetings with my team into emails, DMs, Slacks, G chats, whatever it is. I go through my calendar and anything that's recurring that I know we've got locked up for the most part, we'll turn it into a shared sheet and we just provide updates in there. And instead of it being weekly, it's now a monthly meeting. And we get our updates through that shared sheet, right? I want everybody to understand this. And Elizabeth, you and I have had great conversations about this recently. But it's like, oh my gosh, we're all working our tails off right now. Q1 is the quarter that you guys should use to level yourselves up, to start taking advantage of these new technologies, to start making these changes for yourself. Once we finish with Q1, coast on that. You got them locked in by then. And by that point, by the end of Q1, it's going to be a tough quarter. It is for everybody. I like to call it Q5 sometimes, right? Q4 is typically the hard one. Q5 is what I like to call it because we're always trying to change and make these adjustments to ourselves and to our processes and strategies and our approaches. Work hard now because it's only going to get tougher if you try to make this change at another time of the year. Elizabeth's good at finding and vetting new technologies that reduce the time spent on repetitive processes, scheduling meetings. Use things like Calendly, Chili Piper, or Google has, meeting schedulers that make it easy. It's like click of a button, bam, scheduled. No more do you have to do, oh, okay, I'm available on this day at that time, this day at that time, this day at that time, this day at that time. Guess what? I just turned that 4 or 5 minute process into a 1 minute process. If you think about how many times a day we do that, it adds up at the end of the year. That's
Yeah.
enough time. I get back, I can, head to a New Orleans Pelican game. I can spend more time with my family, or I could just, spend more time with you guys. That's what I want to look for. Make sure that you're leveraging technologies for sending emails, follow-ups, reminders, task lists, and you need an order management system. Oh, you guys got to take a look at Ed Sellarent's order management system. Everything in one spot. Every single digital product you could potentially think of in one spot, in one team. And finally, if you are looking to level up, look for partners and not vendors. Do not look for a group that can just take what you got and not give you any kind of feedback. Look for a team, for a technology, and for a partner that wants to help you level up as well. If you want to learn more about how Ed Sellarent's helping our partners level up, how we can help you work smarter and not harder, and grow your business and grow the time back in your day, whether you want to sleep or spend time with your family,
Right.
please reach out to myself or my lovely colleague, Elizabeth Bernberg here. We would love to have the opportunity to speak with each of you.
That was a good one, Ben.
And I can't wait till next month. We're going to do another one. Ooh, next month, what is it? The do's and don'ts of digital transformations. Ooh. So we're
Yeah.
talking about building efficiencies, and next one is into digital transformations and things that you might want to consider versus not consider doing, because I tell you what, we got tons of partners. We got a lot of tribal knowledge. We want to give it right back to you guys. So we'll look forward to seeing you next year. Follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on social media. Good luck. Happy New Year. Happy selling. We'll catch you later.
All the happies. Cheers, guys.